Good morning, everybody. Nice to have you. So we're gonna do another cooking demo like we do every month, second Monday of each month. So it's a pleasure to see some new faces, and of course, the followers are always, welcome back. We're so happy to have them. So my friend, pastry chef Laurent, is gonna show you panna cotta today. It's white chocolate, lemon with banana caramel. And I'll be showing, like we always do, an appetizer and a main course. Today, the appetizer is a cherry tomato tarte tatin with some feta cheese. And the main course is veal scallopini that is served with some stuffed rigatoni over some spinach and with a truffle sauce. So, like you see, we're still in summer, so, we might as well cook some tomato. It looks like we're never going to have a winter, so we might have to change the menu, and forget about winter. So the cherry tomato, what we're going to do, we're going to cook them slightly with a little caramel, and then after we will place them into that dish. That dish, usually we use that for crème brûlée. So what we're going to do, we're also going to put like two filling inside the tart. We're going to use some feta cheese, and we're also going to use a mix with mascarpone. Okay, so the feta cheese is very simple. We're going to just break it, put a little thyme. Okay, the mascarpone, we're going to mix it with a little bit of basil and also a little bit of garlic. And then we're also going to use some roasted tomato. The tomato, to cook them like that, you first have to peel them. So I suppose you're familiar with the technique. You just use a small knife, make a cross, drop it into boiling water. Then after that you can peel it, remove the seed, cut it by half, brush it with olive oil, bake it. Okay, so the mascarpone, very simple. We mix the herbs. I put a little more. If I have to make a lot, of course, I will use a mixer. In that case, I don't need. So the garlic and the fresh basil. The other mix, I could have used that. I'm going to break the feta cheese. And what I do, I use a little bit of dry thyme. And I use some ground black pepper. So here is for the filling. Merci. And then we got the tomato. So that's basically what's going to go on top of the cherry tomato, because we call it a tatin, because instead of putting the dough at the bottom, we do the other way around. That's the traditional apple tatin. I think Laurent did it, the matter of fact, last month. So you build it up the opposite way. You start with the inside, which is in that case the tomato. So for the tomato, like I said, we gotta make like a caramel, but it doesn't have to be exactly a caramel. You're just gonna dissolve little sugar with water. So I use some brown sugar, about that much. Little bit of water. Maybe like that. So of course the trick is not to burn it. Don't try to do anything else while you're doing that. Especially with a burner like that. This is for camping and not for cooking. Okay. So in 1 minute, I probably can add those tomatoes. So I use a regular cherry tomato, that size. Since we've done that cherry tomato, of course, learning a new technique, I've done some other tatin like that. I use a little button mushroom like that, same size, cook them. Then I use a little smoked bacon, very thin. And I did a duxelle, which we're going to do again today. But instead of being just a regular duxelle, I deglaze it with red wine, slowly cook, so very rich flavor. Cover it, another thin, very thin smoked bacon. Then the dough, it was very good. For winter, just like we have today. Rich. Okay, so when you see it bubbling like that, we're almost there. I don't want to go too fast. Okay, maybe a little higher now. I'm going to add the tomato. Like that. I didn't measure it, but it's about the right quantity for the size of the frying pan I'm using. So we'll let it cook a couple minutes. Then of course we'll have to prepare the dough separately. I have some in the fridge. I'm gonna have to send Laurent again, poor guy. He's young. Okay, so the tomato, of course, a little bit of salt, a little bit of crushed pepper, red pepper, like that. Okay, maybe another minute. Then one thing that I like to put is some rosemary, fresh rosemary, Palm Spring rosemary. There we go, maybe a little more. So of course we don't want them to be overcooked. What I'm looking for is once you see the skin going puff, we're there. Okay, I'll use a little bit of olive oil because I'm almost there now. So the tomato get the sugar. Now it's going too fast. My camping equipment, I gotta watch out. There we go. And then I use a reduced balsamic. It's not just reduced, there is some sugar in it. So we put sugar and balsamic and you cook it until it gets syrupy and you stop it. So we are fine. So now I'm adding that. Of course, I will bring that little tangy balsamic vinegar flavor. So that's what we want. The skin is just starting to puff. Barely. 1 minute. 1 minute and we're there. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So now, of course, they're going to be very hot. Okay, so of course, put it, the nice, facing the bottom of the dish. I don't know how many exactly fit into that dish, but you gotta really put enough. Okay, so try to put as much as you can. Okay? Like that. You see? Kind of tight. Then after, well, I choose to use feta. Of course, if you want to use some goat cheese, definitely that will work. Yeah? anything that you like. Stay inside, don't go too much on the edge. Stay inside, put as much as you like, doesn't really matter. Maybe flatten the tomato, like that. All right, one is enough. And then what am I missing? Oh, the mascarpone. So that's too much. We'll start with 1 spoon. I use more and more the mascarpone instead of using cream for a lot of recipes. I like that. So that will give you that rich flavor. Yeah, stay on the inside also, don't go on the edge. Okay, just like that. So for the dough, Laurent prepared the dough, but you can find it at the market. Not everybody has Laurent working. But it's, you know, any dough. This is actually a puff dough, but it could be, you know, some other dough. I don't know about pizza. Maybe it's not, there's too much humidity, it won't work. It's got to be drier. Okay, so just enough to, you have to have some of the dough going in. So like that, I suppose. That's probably enough. Yeah, that's probably enough. So flatten everything like that. Then try to get inside without puncturing the dough. So go easy, go like that. I don't know if you see. So I just tap like that and push it on the edge like that. Okay, and then of course you go all around like that. Make sure you cut the dough at just the size you need. Okay, keep on going until you've done all around. Okay, like that. Then after I'm gonna press it down, and of course if I have a fork, I add a fork here. We're gonna make holes. You need to do that to release a lot of the humidity, the steam. Okay? Maybe I did too many. Okay, so you're gonna bake that. I think I said 400, 400. About 20 minutes. What happened is you cook it, let it rest. It's just safer like that. Let it rest. Flip it, and if you have a salamander, or you can put it back under your grill in the oven. You can use a light caramel to make it shiny, or you can serve it like that. Okay? And when it comes to the garnish, you put whatever you like to make it look pretty on top. You know, like today we use a baby frisée with arugula. You see? So that's what it is. Okay? So you can, of course, do it with different cheese, and then you can use your imagination to do different garnish. There you go.